Welcome viewers to Smart Education. In this video, you'll learn one-one functions and many-one functions. First of all, let us see what is definition of one-one function. A function f from a to b is called a one-one function if distinct elements of a have distinct images in b. That is, no two elements of a has same image. In other words, you can say for every a1, a2 belongs to a, that is, two elements of the domain of the function are different. a1 is not equal to a2, right? And that implies f of a1 is not equal to f of a2, that is, their images are different. That is, if elements are different, their images must be different, then that function is called one-one function. Or if I take contrapositive of this statement, then it is f of a1 is equal to f of a2, then a1 is equal to a2. That is, if the element if two images are same of distinct elements a1 and a2, then it is possible only if those two elements are same, otherwise it is not possible. Then that function is called one-one function. Again, what is one-one function? If we are taking two distinct elements of the domain, then their images must be different. If you see this function, then this function is one-one function because all the elements of the domain are associated with different elements of the codomain. No element is repeated from the codomain. Okay, every element in the domain has the unique image and that is different from the others. So this function is one-one function, while this function is not one-one function because if you see these two elements a and b, then their image is same. Their image is q, image of a and image of b, both is q, and therefore this function is not one-one function. Let us take few examples. The first example is like this. If you see this function, then this function is one-one function because image of 1 is 2, 2 is 3, 3 is 4, 4 is 5 and 5 is 6, and images are not repeated. No element of the codomain is repeated. Okay, and therefore this function is one-one function. If I take this function g from n to n, g of x is equal to x square, then this function is also one-one function because I have to take elements from the domain and it is natural number set n. Therefore I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4 and I'll find image of those numbers, and those are 1, 4, 9, 16, and all of you are knowing that no element will be repeated from the codomain, and therefore this function is one-one function. Third function, h from r to r, h of x is equal to 2x plus 3. This function is also one-one function. We cannot check whether this function is one-one or not by the previous definition, the first definition. We have to take the second definition, that was f of a1 is equal to f of a2, implies a1 is equal to a2. That is, images are same, then their pre-images must be equal. Here we are taking two distinct elements of domain x1 and x2, and we are assuming that then their images are same. Image of x1 is 2x1 plus 3, image of x2 is 2x2 plus 3. If I cancel 3 from both the sides, I'll get 2x1 is equal to 2x2. Again I'm cancelling 2 from both the sides, then I'll get x1 is equal to x2. So from second definition of one-one function, I can say that this function is one-one function. Suppose you are given graph of one function and you want to check whether that function is one-one or not. Then what is the condition? How you can see whether that function is one-one or not? Then this is the way by which you can say that the function is one-one or not. The graph of one-one function intersects horizontal line in at most one point. For example, this function is one-one or not. If you want to check, then you have to just draw horizontal lines. If these horizontal lines are intersecting graph of the curve in unique point only, then that, or no point, then you can say that that function is one-one function. Here you can see that every horizontal line intersect graph of the function in one point only, therefore this function is one-one function. Well, if you see this function, then this function is not one function, because if I draw horizontal line, then it intersect the graph of the function into two distinct points. It is not that every time it intersect into two distinct points, but if at least if you can get a horizontal line which intersect the graph into two distinct points, then that function is not one function, and the function which is not one function is called many-one function. The third method by which you can check whether the function is one or not is derivative test. You just differentiate the function. If it is greater than 0 or less than 0, strictly greater than 0 or strictly less than 0, then that function is always one function. Why? Because if derivative is greater than 0, it means that it is a strictly increasing function, and if derivative is less than 0, then it means that it is strictly decreasing function, and strictly increasing function will be like this. Okay, and if you draw horizontal line to this type of curves, you can see that it will intersect into one point only to the graph of the function. Okay, this is example of strictly decreasing function. If you draw horizontal lines, then it will intersect the graph into one point only, and therefore it's one function. Now, what is many-one function? A function which is not one function is called many-one function. That is, many elements in domain are taking same image. Definition of one function was no two elements of domain have same image, but here in many-one function, many elements can have same image. Many elements in the domain are taking same image, then we can say that that function is many-one function. For example, if I take this function, then you can see that image of 2 is 3 and image of 3 is also 3. So this element 3 from the codomain is repeated. There are two distinct elements whose images are same, and therefore this function is not one function. If I take another example, that is g from z to z, g of x is equal to x square, this function is also not one function, because we know that g of 2, that is, if I take x is equal to 2, I'll get 2 square, that is 4, and if I take minus 2, because it is z, I can take minus 2 also, and minus 2 square is 4. So we have two elements, 2 and minus 2, whose images are same, and therefore this function is not one function. Now suppose we are given graph of the function and you want to check whether that function is one or not, then you just have to draw horizontal lines. If it intersect in more than one point, then it is many-one function. Here you can see that at this point it is this horizontal line intersect a graph of the function in one point only, but there are few lines which are intersecting the graph of the curve into more than one points, and therefore this function is not one function. You should have at least one line which should intersect graph of the curve into more than one points, and therefore then that function is called many-one function. Okay, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe our channel Smart Education. Thank you.